All right. Hi, this is Nick. This is my homework 3 project for embedded systems on the Land Tiger 2.0. I'm just demonstrating the snake game, which which is snake, and this is designed according to the rubric that we were provided. So this works just as snake normally works. The snake has a red head. It's 24 by 24 pixels each body length, including the head. Body's green. The snake starts with initially 3 lives and has a length of 3. And the snake eats little mice, which are little magenta 24 by 24 pixels on the LCD screen. Um, so controlling the snake is controlled through a UART, and I use so here's the UART, and I use the arrow keys to control the direction of the snake. I'll just start running it, so I'm resetting it. So right now you have to press enter to play. So if I press enter, the game starts, and I can control the movement of the snake using the keys. So as you can see on top left, it shows the number of lives. The snake cannot go back in on itself, so if I go left and I try to hit the right key, it can't come back in itself. And then if I try to go, or if I up, it doesn't work the same way. Either way. So right now the goal of the game is to get 6 lives. So for every 2 mice that you eat, you get an extra life. Every time you die, or if you hit a wall or collide with stuff, you lose a life. So you can hear the sounds that occur when the snake gains a life. And as you can see, as the snake eats each mice, the length of the snake increases by 1, 24 by 24 pixel. So if I go off the screen, I die and I lose a life. I still keep the same length that I did before, but I have one less life. So right now I'm going to eat one of these mice, and the mice is completely random. So I ate 1 mice. So if I eat this one, I'll technically have eaten 2 in a row. But because I died, the number of mice that I eat gets reset. So I actually you have to start over at 2 every single time. And as you can see, I can ride the borders. So if I'm riding this way, that's the bottom. There is a little gap on the bottom, and that's just because the size of the snake, the size of the LCD screen and the size of the snake aren't the same dimensions, or they're not a factor of each other. But you can get pretty complex with this. The snake updates every 0.5 seconds, and that's just the way that it's programmed. It can go faster. So if I eat one more mice here, the game will be over. And if you get it, you win. So that's what happens when you get 6 lives. But let's say if you lose. So if I just play, we'll just go off the screen. I even show what happens when you collide with yourself. And the placements of this, so if you collide with yourself, the same thing happens. You just restart, and you always start going up in the center of the screen. The placement of the mice is always random, and it's always different each iteration of the run. And the way that's achieved is through the start screen. So when you see the start screen right now, the game is running, and it's using the timer, and it bases the seed of the random variable off the time in which the game essentially starts. So the longer you wait, or however long you wait, and this is in milliseconds too, so unless you time it exactly perfectly right every single time, the generation of the mice is going to be different every single time. So as you can see, it's moving around, and it'll never be the same unless magically one time you get the same one. That's just because in embedded C there is no time library, so you can't actually keep track of. You don't have access to the time at null, which is essentially when the program was built. You could use the ADC function, but for me, I thought it would be a little bit better to use this enter play, just so the user at least has one way of controlling when they play, and it also works as a way to randomize the placement of the mice. But that's my game. And then you also heard the sounds. So when you die, there's a difference in tone. So that's that tone. And when you get a mice, 2 mice. It's a little bit higher in pitch, but that's essentially it. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. But that's it. Thank you very much.